On Larry King Now, world-renowned business and success expert Harvey Mackay. A lot of people think that entrepreneurship is inborn.
Disagree.
You can teach it.
You give me a hungry fighter, deep down committed to success, all right? And you can teach them.
You say that a lot of things are the same, but hasn't the digital world changed things?
We have to talk about success, though. The world hasn't changed 0.1% from my perspective when you want to talk about success.
What drives you to continue business pursuits at this stage? Why now?
Well, as you know, if you don't use it, you lose it.
Plus,
you can't be a president of a university, you can't be a coach, you can't be an entrepreneur, you can't be a CEO unless you understand this one 4-letter word.
It's all next on Larry King Now. Welcome to Larry King Now. Our special guest is my good friend Harvey Mackay, the famed businessman, entrepreneur, and success expert. Harvey's written 8 books, including several New York Times bestsellers, like the fantastic Swim with the Sharks Without Being Eaten Alive and Beware of the Naked Man Who Offers You His Shirt. He's been named by Toastmasters International as one of the top 5 speakers in the world, and now he's bringing us the Harvey Mackay University, Secrets of the Round Table. It's an informative program where Harvey and other business leaders, icons, offer transformational business advice and life savvy. He joins us here in L.A., and he's wearing his traditional tie, with features the Sharks.
Slept with it last
Always
night.
promoting his book. Slept with a Swim with the Sharks. All right, what is the Harvey Mackay University?
Well, very succinctly, I started a round table 4 years ago because I was making a speech a week, 1 speech per week, for 30 years around the world with my books. India, Pakistan, China, Burma, all over. Decided I'd take a year off, go find 25 business people, men and women, and mentor them. Subjects would be sales, marketing, leadership, negotiations, time management, creativity. And I put on 6 programs during the year, bring all these top speakers in like a Lou Holtz, like going to your home, thank you, Larry, and having you speak for 90 minutes, videoing all these different speakers on all these different subjects and mentor them. I did it a second year because it was so popular. 30 men and women, 30 persons, entrepreneurs. They were running businesses $3 million to $300 million. And they paid $150,000 for the 2 years. So now I say, wow, look what I've got. I've got all these speakers, got all this knowledge.
It's all on tape.
It's all on tape, all on video. I'll take that plus put 50 years of what's up there, ear to ear, my brain bank, put it together, voila, Harvey Mackay University. 150 hours of learning. And one last thing, the real key here, Larry, is they can listen to a Lou Holtz for 90 minutes. They can listen to a Ken Blanchard, the 1-minute manager. And
at their leisure.
And at their leisure, but here's the beauty. As soon as you get through that 90 minutes, take your notes, just click on, and it's all transcribed, the whole 150 hours. So you got, in 3 minutes, 40 pages of what that person just said. I've got you. You've talked for 90 minutes. Press the button, they get you 50 pages of your 90-minute speech. They've got it forever.
What a great idea. How long has it been How long has it
Well, it's been a soft launch over a period of about 1.5 years. And anyway, things are going swimmingly well. And
now you have a wide variety of well-known business people. You learn from these. Richard Branson's one of them. Susan Sly.
Well, can I name the number 1 on there?
Yeah.
John Maxwell. He's the leadership guru for the world. No exaggeration. Okay, he's trained 5,000 executives in 200 countries, if you can believe that. 5,000 executives in 200 countries in the last 5 years.
Who should take the course?
Everyone from 15 years of age and over. Has my 7 New York Times best-selling books on there. One is called Dig Your Well Before You're Thirsty. Only networking book you'll ever need. That's all downloadable, of course. That's in 200 universities. Very proud.
All of this is part of
This is all
the
part
Harvey.
of it.
This is Harvey Mackay's life with all of his friends and advisors and business people in one bundle.
Yes,
All
exactly.
right, how do they get it?
Well, I've decided to treat it, Larry, as a legacy item. These people paid $150,000 for this information. It's real simple. All they have to do is go to HarveyMackayUniversity.com, which is M-A-C-K-A-Y, all one word. Scroll down to the red box that says Buy Now, $990. Then right away, click on that box, and the promo code comes up, and then you put in Larry King, single-spaced, okay, all one word. And then automatically the price drops from $990 to $100. $100. $100. Money back, guaranteed. Put your credit card in, all right? You get your password in 5 minutes. And if you don't, if it's one chance in 100, it might go to spam or it might go to junk mail. That's it.
Why are you giving this bargain?
Well, because my age, feel good, want to give back, learned it from my father. I meet you, I meet anybody the last 50 or 60 years, right to my brain bank. My father taught me, what can I do for you? And then what really counts, Larry, is expect nothing in return.
Are these concepts and the things you learned in this course, are they missing in universities and schools?
Well,
is entrepreneurship taught?
I'm a big, the subjects, again, are, as I told you, all right, entrepreneurship, leadership, buying, selling, negotiations, again, time management, all these things. I'm a huge believer in the MBA. But you do have to write a check depending on which school you pick.
So you learn these things
between $70,000 and $150,000.
You learn these things at Wharton or NYU or Michigan.
Well, I think there's a lot that you do not learn because they're called street smarts. I've been a street smart guy most of my life, thanks to my father, who would kick and bite and scratch as head of the Associated Press for going out to get scoops. I lived with him for 5 years. He was a hungry fighter, taught me to be a hungry fighter. So the MBA is wonderful, but this is an addition to and a lot of information you'll never see.
A lot of people think that entrepreneurship is inborn.
Disagree.
You can teach it.
Disagree. You can teach it. You give me a hungry fighter, deep down committed to success, all right? And you can teach it. First of all, I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. Still have trouble spelling the word, but that's exactly what I wanted to be. But you give me any male, any female that's a hungry fighter that wants to learn, wants to go in business for himself or herself. Now here's the key. All kinds of persons go into business, all kinds of people. This one works as hard as this one. This one is successful, this person is not. How does that happen? All over the world, 7.2 billion people on the planet. How does it happen? I'll tell you exactly why. Everyone says you have to be passionate to go into business. Got to have that idea, right? Wrong. I wanted to be a brain surgeon. I'm just making this up. I want to be a brain surgeon. I have no talent, Larry. I'm zero. I couldn't be a brain surgeon with 100 million hours. So you have to be passionate, but you have to be good at what you're passionate about.
Right, of course.
See the key? That's the real key. So anyone can become an entrepreneur.
So you own a major envelope company.
Yes.
Could you also own a pencil company?
I think the concepts, once you're a business person, concepts don't change. Now, everyone says the world has changed. Again, I don't believe it at all. To be a success, my definition of success, okay, having a predetermined plan, successfully carrying it out over a long period of time, and having a damn good time doing it. That's my simple success. So
later in the interview, we'll repeat how you can get this whole course at Harvey Mackay University, which is incredible to me, for $100. Next, Harvey on staying competitive in the ever-evolving business world, plus his keys to becoming a world-class networker. We're back with the great Harvey Mackay. Stay with us. Harvey Mackay is our special guest. He's one of the best at what he does, which is extraordinary. And of course, the Harvey Mackay University is available to you. It's an incredible offer. We'll repeat it later. You talk a lot about the most important word when it comes to being a leader. What is the word?
Well, there's a million words in the English language. You can't be a president of a university, you can't be a coach, you can't be an entrepreneur, you can't be a CEO unless you understand this one four-letter word. H-I-R-E, hire. If you can't hire, Larry, you can't be a leader. And I've studied hiring for the last 50 years at the feet of the best people.
What's the key to that?
Well, there's about 3 or 4 or 5 different keys, but you have to interview them in different situations. You have to go back to the kindergarten, get that kindergarten person, find out. This is number 1, of course, T-R-U-S-T. I mean, if you can't trust that person that's on the other side of the interview's over with. If you're a salesperson, Larry, I would say to myself, to my brain bank, how would I feel if this person were working for my competitor? And if I'm not worried, that's the end of the interview. It's just a little street smart secret that I happen to use. But if you can't hire, Larry, you don't have a chance.
You say that a lot of things are the same, but hasn't the digital world changed things?
We have to talk about success, though. The world hasn't changed 0.1% from my perspective, okay, when you want to talk about success. The way we get our information, Larry, is awesome. But let's just take all the adjectives, and I can name 50 of them, of course, with trust and passion and persistence and loyalty, and everyone knows all those words. Those were true 100 years ago, 150 years ago. They're still true today. You can't make it. You can't be successful unless you have those same guiding principles, a deep down burning desire. Again, to be trustworthy, to be truthful, to be loyal, takes all those different things.
But you have to use what's modern as well.
I say the way we get our information is beyond comprehension.
What about women in business? They're increasingly in number. You say you have women in your course in Harvey Mackay University. What took so long? What
took so long for the women? You were talking about our society.
To embrace this.
Yeah, well, let me give you the current stats if I can tell you. And I could be a little tiny bit wrong here, but give or take 1 or 2%. But today, okay, 55% of all the college graduates in pharmacy are women. Accountants, okay, 48 to 49% women. MBAers, 42% women. Lawyers, 46% approximately women. Medical school, 49% women. So they are coming along, they are on the boards, there's still the glass ceiling. Yeah. It's still uphill into the wind. However, you'll have to admit that's some pretty good progress.
More with the acclaimed business and success expert Harvey Mackay after the break. Back with Harvey Mackay University. You can get it at an incredible price. We'll talk about that in the next session. You're called a world-class networker. How do you develop that skill? You network, right? That's you network every day.
I'd say every hour. Maybe every second, every minute, every hour, every day. No, but it's ingrained in me, and it's in my DNA thanks to my father again. A hungry fighter, head of the Associated Press, 35 years in the Twin Cities, and he taught me at age 18. Every person I meet the rest of my life goes into a Rolodex file, of course, computer today. Now, a little bit about them on the back of the card in those days when I was 18, all the way up before the computer. And now here's the key. Find a creative way, underlying creative way, to keep in touch. And that's what I've been doing all of my life. So I'm sitting there with 14, 15, 16,000 names over a period of a lifetime. But you have to remember who's in my network. Thank goodness. I mean, I just take your network. Yeah, I take Lou Holtz's network.
Do you call?
Here's what I do. Very good question.
You call them?
I did for 25 years.
How many people?
I call it Sunday. Well, I did it every Sunday, Spin to Win. And I call all over the world. I'd call Madrid, Spain. How you doing? What can I do for you?
Just keep in touch.
Just keep in touch. Now, I do about 800 to 900 birthdays a year. I have in my records, and I just call up and I sing them happy birthday in a humorous way.
I get the call.
You get the call with a little creativity, and I just keep in touch, thinking about you. But you have to mean it.
You're in your 80s now. You're a vast success. You don't need any more money. Why do you do this?
Well, because of one thing. I'm the difference between 100% all in and 99% all in is 100%. And I'm 100%, Larry, all in to helping everybody that I can. And my father taught it to me again at age 18, and that's what I've been doing. His eulogy, Rabbi Max Shapiro. I mean, the whole thing was call Jack, call Jack, call Jack, call Jack. You know, you need a job, call Jack. You want to find the best doctors, call Jack. You want to get someone over from Russia who can't get in, call Jack. That was his whole eulogy.
And that's you.
So I picked it up, and I like people to call Harvey.
What drives you to continue business pursuits at this stage? Why now? Why don't you go to some island and
let me turn that around. Let me turn that around, because in the last session you're asking me, you know, the same thing in a kind of different way. I'm flying over here, got off the airplane 45 minutes ago. You know what I said? How would I describe Larry King in one sentence? You want to hear it? He hasn't hit his peak yet. I mean, I know exactly what you're doing. I see you everywhere. So
we're both workaholics.
So we're.
I don't know why. I just love what I do.
Well, as you know, if you don't use it, you lose it without question. And do I want to play golf 8 days a week? No, I do not. I want to interact. I want to be going to different countries. I want to know what's going on. Well, my goal, Larry, was to see all 211 countries, but 9/11 stopped that.
What's the secret of balancing business and home? What's
the balance? I'd say that's probably the toughest question of all. And I don't have, it takes, of course, a lot of luck. You have to be dedicated to know you can't solve a problem unless you first think that you admit that you have it. So you have to know right away you've got a problem. I'm doing all of these things. I'm away from home. But my wife, Carol Ann, trustee, you know, the Heard Museum just opened up a show last week, 500 people, where she was the cog and the key cog. So she has her motivations, I have mine. But I think the way to raise children, as far as I'm concerned, is show me a happy marriage, and I'll show you some good kids.
We play a little game of If You Only Knew. I just throw some questions at you, okay? Best piece of advice you ever received?
Best piece of advice I ever received was, of course, from my father, which I said earlier, okay, what can you do for someone else? And I've lived my life that way. And here's the key again, expect nothing in return.
Worst piece of advice you ever got?
Worst piece of advice? Wow. Have we got 2 hours?
No.
I would say one of them is that in business, I had all my eggs in one basket, and none of my advisors told me that I could have a strike, you know, and have the signs up, which almost put me under. So I always remember that at least when I was 26 years old, they should have warned me not to have all my eggs in one basket.
Is there a company we should be paying more attention to?
Well, with all the high-tech companies, of course, you know, you got your Googles all over. There's one every week, as you well know.
I know, it's amazing.
There's one every week. So at the time, I just can't live without Google, and I can give you many reasons why.
Your biggest failure and what you learned from it?
Biggest failure and what I learned from it was, unfortunately, that strike that I had, an 8-week strike, by having all my eggs in that basket.
At your company?
That I didn't, it was life and death. I might not be sitting here had I not had that 8-week strike, and I'll never forget it.
What industry is on the verge of exploding?
Well, of course, it's every, I mean, we're gonna look right here. We're gonna just look right here and have the whole world right here on the watch. We're gonna look right here. We're gonna have the whole world.
You know, yeah.
I mean, this is it for the next 3, 4, 5 years.
What industry is slowing down or dying?
What industry is slowing down and dying? Well, the coal industry isn't going anywhere from the best knowledge that I certainly have.
Who's a business leader you really admire?
That would be, well, I'm a business leader. Of course, I would have to say Jack Welch. I thought I'd have to know him. I know him and met him, yeah. But Jack Welch, if you just study his career, that meteoric career, and what he's teaching now, that's a pretty good role model.
NBC, GE.
Yes, Jack Welch.
What part of the world is exploding in business?
Well, I fear, and I've always feared, and I've been there 6, 7, 8 times, when you got 1.3 billion people and China, I'm looking out the next 25 years. But I've been there many times. I've spoken to them, of course, in the many, many, many thousands. And every time I go there, I just say to myself, 25 years from now, who's going to rule? I don't know the answer to that question, but if I had to bet, if it's not the United States, it'll be China.
What are they doing so well?
China? Well, first of all, they know how to educate their people from age, I'm talking about the elite, from age 5, okay, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, let's talk about athletically. They pluck them right out of their families, and they take them away for 10, 15 years to be that basketball player, to be that runner, to be that swimmer. This is their total focus when it comes to athletics. I mean, the kids, that's it. They don't have a choice. They rip them from their parents.
I wouldn't want that.
No, it's horrific. But in the meantime, now what do? They do the same thing in education. Same thing what the Koreans are doing. Same thing what India's doing. They're all doing the same thing. And that is, you're 5 years old, okay, you're going to study and study and study and study. And I don't want to be harsh, but I want to tell you, I spend a lot of time as an MBA commencement speaker on these campuses. You cannot believe the Asian influence.
Education first.
Education first.
In our final moments, Harvey will answer your questions from social media about entrepreneurs. Don't click away. On the Harvey Mackay University, you go to harveymackayuniversity.com, scroll down to the bottom, you'll see a red box that says buy now for $990. Click on that box, a screen comes up and asks for a promo code. Enter Larry King, all one word, Larry King lowercase, and click on and apply. The price automatically drops from $990 to $100. After you enter your credit card information, you receive your password within 5 minutes. Check your junk mail or spam folder. If you don't get it, you'll have a money-back guarantee, $100 for the Harvey Mackay course. Before we have some questions from our viewers, you want to quickly tell us the Sophia Loren kiss story. I'm part of this.
Again, very, very briefly. I'm on the Fight Night board out of Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona. There's Muhammad Ali, the champ, and he's got a clinic, and we're raising money for Parkinson's, $23 million in 20 years. We're going to Europe now because we've got a chance. Andre Bocelli is going to help us raise some money. And I find out that Sophia Loren is going to be at his house opening night. And you're on the plane with us. But you call me one day, okay, before you've got 3 emergencies, not one, you can't go. So I said, will you just maybe set the pace for me? She's a pinup, okay, on my wall for 20, 30 years. Sophia Loren, she's going to be there. Can you set the table for me so you give me something on my phone? Harvey's a friend, okay? Say hello. She comes in with 3 guards, half hour late. 3 guards, all over 6 feet, 100 people in Bocelli's living room. Nobody's talking to Sophia Loren. I run behind the curtain, dial you. Larry, I'm 20 feet from Sophia Loren. She's got 3 guards. I don't think the email you gave me is going to do it. Can you set the table for me? No problem. So I walk over. The guards start putting their hands up at the dinner table. I say, Sophia, I've got Larry King on the phone. He wants to say hello. Oh, she gets all excited. I give her the phone. She's talking, and the reason why, you're going to be the MC at her 80th birthday party in 3 weeks. You apologize for not being there. She's thrilled to talk to you on the phone. And then, yes, Larry, I understand. Bye-bye. She takes my phone, throws it on the table, And she gives me a smashing kiss on the lips. And I have pictures.
Who was there to take pictures?
Thank
Harvey?
you.
Only you. You had a guy with a camera and
a guy with a zoom lens.
You're an amazing Harvey Mackay.
But let me give you. There's a moral to the story. You know, you can't be boring. You can't be dull. You can't be predictable. I helped you because you couldn't come, and you felt badly about it. Believe me, that you had to cancel in 24 hours. She was thrilled to talk to you, so I put you together.
Networking.
You got it.
All right, Corey Anderson on the Larry King Now blog. What do you want your legacy to be as a business leader?
Well, as a business leader, I guess what I've been thinking about is, number one, my legacy obviously is to my family. Number two is to my writings, without sounding self-serving, but I do have 10 million books out. I'm writing a national syndicated column, and I've been speaking. So my legacy is as follows, that any life that I have touched, I've increased the probability that that individual person, he or she, okay, will have a higher probability to be happy and successful.
Bruce McClellan on the Larry King Now blog. What are your thoughts on people from the private sector, like Trump, getting involved in politics?
Fifth Amendment.
Okay.
Fifth, no, I tell you.
Did you ever think of running for office?
I'll tell you, never. Okay. However, let me just tell you that I've been asked governor, senator, all those times. Maybe I'm selfish, but boy, when you say I do to that you're going to run for governor, for senator, for anything, then I want to tell you, to be a family man is a high probability. You will not be successful, and I don't want to be harsh on politicians, but way too many of them, they fail because of arrogance, and they have chapped lips from kissing the mirror too much. That's my experience.
At Smith's Brew on Twitter, what's the most insightful question you've ever been asked?
Insightful? Well, I'm continually asked all the time, you know, because they want to know what's the secret to being 84 and holding. That's what I'm asked all the time. And I'm not trying to be modest or anything, but I believe in probability. However, if I knew how to define luck, I mean, you must have the luck, have to have the luck, and then do everything you can, which is about 6 different categories, to increase the probability that you will live a long life.
But Branch Rickey, the great baseball general manager, said, luck is the residue of design. Wow. You make your own luck, the residue of design. Yes. And Paul Newman told me, any successful person in discussing his or her career who doesn't use the word luck is a liar. Left turn, right turn. What if you made that left turn instead of that right turn that morning that was key in your life?
That's, if we had time, I'd give you 10 friends that happened to. That's right.
At Soulman Schofield, do you ever think you'll ever retire?
Answer unequivocally qualified, okay, unqualified, no. I will not retire. I'm going with my boots, and I'm very happy to do that. I might not make it to the car.
Kate Mayer on Facebook, is there some small value in keeping a business small even if you have the opportunity to expand?
Yes, it depends on your lifestyle and what you want. And there's nothing wrong with staying small, nothing at all. If it brings happiness, why take on all the other employees? You know, it's 25 or 30, Larry, for the bar mitzvahs, for the birthdays, and all that. Once you get to 100, then it's a whole different world. And
finally, Daniel Christopher Thomas on Facebook. What's the top mistake the average person makes in personal money management?
Personal money management. I know that you don't know, but you don't know that you don't know. People have to understand they can't sit there and do the market themselves. I mean, even the Lone Ranger had Tonto. What I'm saying is you must have advisors and counselors in the marketplace with TRUST, and I'd say 20% of the people you could probably trust.
The great Sir Bertrand Russell, the Nobel Prize winner at age 95, was at a dinner, and someone said, Sir Russell, you're 95 years old. What do you know? And he said, the only thing I know is I don't know. Harvey, you're the best.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, Larry.
Trump University is dead, but the Harvey Mackay University lives. Big thanks to my guest, the one and only Harvey Mackay. You can learn more about Harvey Mackay University by visiting harveymackayuniversity.com. And what we've told you, that will give you all the information. harveymackayuniversity.com. As always, you can find me on Twitter at King's Things. I'll see you next time.